When is the spring equinox 2017? In the Northern Hemisphere, we mark this vernal equinox on Monday, March 20th, 2017. The equinox falls on March 19th or 20th every year, marking spring's beginning in the Northern Hemisphere, whereas it announces fall's arrival in the Southern Hemisphere. The equinox happens at the same moment worldwide, even if our clock times reflect a different time zone. Weather scientists divide the year into quarters this way to make it easier to compare seasonal and monthly statistics from one year to the next. The meteorological seasons are based on annual temperature cycles rather than on the position of Earth in relation to the Sun, and they more closely follow the Gregorian calendar. Using the dates of the astronomical equinoxes and solstices for the seasons would present a statistical problem because these dates can vary slightly each year. At the vernal equinox, the Sun crosses the celestial equator on its way north along the ecliptic. All over the world, days and nights are approximately equal. The name equinox comes from Latin words which mean equal nights, equus, equal, and nox, night. Enjoy the increasing sunlight hours, with earlier dawns and later sunsets. See your personalized sunrise and set calculator. On the equinox, Earth's two hemispheres are receiving the sun's rays about equally because the tilt of the Earth is zeroed relative to the sun, which means that Earth's axis neither points toward nor away from the Sunday note. However, that the Earth never orbits upright, but is always tilted on its axis by about 23.5 degrees. Scientific explanation aside, our ancestors were more connected to the sun than we are today. They observed its pathway across the sky. They tracked how the sunrise, sunset, and day lunch changed, using the sun and moon as a clock and calendar. If you have ever been to Stonehenge or Machu Picchu, you'll see examples of ancient seasonal markers. Are day and night truly equal on the equinox? Nope. Day and night are not exactly equal at the equinox for two reasons. First, daytime begins the moment any part of the sun is over the horizon, and it is not over until the last part of the sun has set. If the sun were to shrink to a star-like point and we lived in a world without air, the spring and fall equinoxes would truly have equal nights. Signs of the equinox in nature. The vernal equinox signals the beginning of nature's renewal in the Northern Hemisphere. Worms begin to emerge from the Earth. Even the March moon is called the full worm moon for this reason. Notice the arc of the sun across the sky as it shifts toward the north. Birds are migrating northward, along with the path of the Sunday. Speaking of birds, did you know that the increasing sunlight triggers bird song? Cool, eh? Enjoy our bird songs page. Trees, shrubs, and flowers are sensitive to temperature and day lunch, too. Since ancient days, people have used them as indicators of when the weather is right for planting. For example, blooming crocus are your cue to plant radishes, parsnips, and spinach. See more of nature's signs. Of course, the longer days bring warmer weather. Both we and the animals around us strip off our clothes and heavier coats. Ready, set, plant. March is
Hello and welcome to another episode of your Human Service News and Information. I'm Hassan Rishi, your host, and I'll be here with you for approximately 25 more minutes. It's excellent being here with you once again, and such a great achievement to come into your lives like we do here daily at CCTV. So with that, I extend a hearty, cordial of peace out to you. Okay, I guess you got the message from the opening video. Spring has sprung, and I guess for the next several months it will be spring. That's the vernal equinox has made its move into the universe, and once again nature has brought us another season, a change of season. That's what we call it, a change of season. Vernal equinox, spring 2017. I thought it would never get here. Okay, we're going to try to get back to that opening video and share with you some more information, knowledge on the vernal equinox, what exactly happens in the atmosphere at this time of the year. And that's very important. A lot of folks, they don't know that, and they'll walk around and suspended animation and not knowing what is actually happening in their surroundings, okay? And it has a lot to do with climate change too. The climate change criteria, okay? I'm Hassan Rishi, your host, and I'll be here with you for approximately, I guess, about 20 more minutes. It's excellent being here with you once again, and it's such a great achievement to come into your lives like we do here at the CCTV. Okay, I want to correct a mistake I made at City Hall this past Monday. I made a mistake at City Hall. I was given a public comment and in response to an agenda item that was on the City Council agenda for that night, for that evening. And this agenda item related to inclusionary zoning. So I prepared a presentation, a small, short presentation, and my response to that agenda item for that night. And I made a slight mistake. I made a mistake in my second paragraph. I referred to Enabling Act 40T. That was a mistake. It was 40A and 41. So right now I want to correct that mistake. That was I referred to legislating of inclusionary zoning, Enabling Act. The Enabling Act is the laws that are over zoning in all of Massachusetts. So it's called the Enabling Act. I said 40T. That's another law, general law, but actually I meant 40A and 41. So I just want to pass that along to you. Okay, so a lot of people heard me speak that night and that evening, and they heard me say 40T, and some knew exactly what was going on. But for others, it was 40A, not and 41. Okay, I'm gonna try to read that whole presentation that I gave that night at the City Hall, if time permits. Okay, but another thing I like to, believe it or not, I will remind you of that. Believe it or not, you still have time to endorse a candidate for the CCTV's board of directors. You know, you have until we have 2 more days. Today's the 22nd. No, today's the 22nd. Tomorrow's the 23rd, and the day after is 24th, and that is the deadline for board nominations. So you still have time to nominate somebody that you feel is would be responsible, or is a responsible person to sit on the CCTV's board of directors. So if you like additional information for that, you can email info@cctvcambridge.org, or you can call somebody right here. That's 617-661-6900. So the thing is, you still have time to nominate somebody for the CCTV board of directors. Okay, and also here at CCTV, you can come in and host your own live TV show and talk to Cambridge about the issues that matter to you. No experience necessary. Weekly, bi-weekly, monthly slots available. Tune in for afternoons and evening shows Sunday through Friday on Channel 9 at Cambridge's in Cambridge and streaming live at cctvcambridge.org. So you can call for additional information at 617-661-6900 or sign up or visit cctv.org. Host for more information. That's host your own live TV show. So you can come right on in, walk right on into the door, and inquire, okay, about hosting your own live TV show. That's and becoming a member of CCTV. That's 438 Massachusetts Avenue in Central Square, okay? And guess what? Computer skills for people over 50. You still have one more day of courses that's going to be ran or offered here in the month of March 2017. And that course is entitled Using YouTube to Learn. So if you're over 50 and you'd like to come in and participate in this class, Using YouTube to Learn, you can call 617-401-4009 about sign up or membership, how to get involved in this course. Your first 2 night visits are free. After 2 visits, the program is free for CCTV members. If you are over 60 years old, membership is $35. For those younger than 60, membership is $75. So if you like more information, you can call Allison with your questions at 617-401-4009. Okay, another thing, find in Cambridge. Find more, learn more, do more. A new website for the city of Cambridge. That's easily find activities, services, resources in Cambridge. Search by age, category, location, and cause. Sign up to get reminders about upcoming events. Information updated regulars. Works great on your smartphone, free, and much more. So if you like additional information about this new website that's being offered by the city of Cambridge, you can email them at www.finditcambridge.org. Okay, and if you want to send an email, you can email at info@finditcambridge.org. Okay, and once again, there's the SNAP program. That's the Winter Farmers Market still running, and they'll be running that until April 15th. So you still have time every Saturday to pick up fresh produce, dairy products, etc., etc. Okay, in the wintertime. Okay, that's at 5 Calendar Street, Cambridge, Mass. 02139, and they'll be there. I guess this weekend, this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and they accept Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, acronym SNAP, putting healthy food together. If you spend $15 of SNAP, you get $30. So they double it. Every dollar you spend, they double it in food. So that's the place to be on Saturday from 10 a.m. to 9 a.m. Okay. One more other big item I'd like to share with you before we get into the broadcast. There's free tax preparation sites in Cambridge that will save you a lot of money, when you're filing your income tax, so you don't have to pay. You just go to 11 Emmons Street, Cambridge. Their telephone number is 617-868-2900. That's for free tax preparation. There's another free tax preparation site in Cambridge, and that is the Cambridge Public Library, 449 Broadway, and they have free tax assistance. Was started in February, and that runs to April 15th in the main library community room on Fridays, 12 to 4:30 p.m. and Saturdays 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. and on 3 Mondays 5 to 8 p.m. 5 to 8 p.m. Okay, and that's April 4th and April 11th. Must bring your Social Security card, state issued ID, any tax form you have received. So that's at the Cambridge's Public Library. There's no appointment required. Okay, one more item. I guess from this is from the Office of the Mayor, Denise Simmons, and the Cambridge Public Library. They're going to be sponsoring an event entitled Leveling the Playing Field, the story of the Syracuse 8, okay? And they want you to come out on Tuesday, April 18, 2017, 6 to 8 p.m. to Sullivan Chambers City Hall, and to meet with Alif Muhammad, Greg Allen, John Lobbin of the Syracuse 8. Leveling the Playing Field, the story of the African-American members of the 1969 to 70 SU football team who petitioned their team for access to the same academic tutoring made available to white teammates, better medical care for all team members, starting assignments based on merit rather than race, and a discernible effort to racially integrate the coaching staff, which had been all white since 1898. They boycotted the spring 1970 practice, and 7 of them were dismissed from the team. Hear the story from the perspective of Alif Muhammad, Greg Allen, and John Laban, members of the Syracuse 8. So that should be a very interesting event, and you're invited to come on out. It's Tuesday, April 18, 2017, 6 p.m. in the Sullivan Chamber, Cambridge City Hall, and sponsored by Office of Mayor Denise Simmons and the Cambridge Public Library. First in the human service news, Baker cancels plan to eliminate all weekend commuter services. Okay, a Newburyport bound MBT commuter rail train out of Boston pulled into the station in Raleigh, Mass earlier this month. Okay, it's they're talking about, okay, we're gonna circumvent that. Okay, Governor Charlie Baker said Monday his administration has shelved a proposal to eliminate all weekend commuter rail service, an abrupt shift that follows an outcry from riders and political leaders. So you see how important your speaking up about these things. See how valuable are, by people, the public speaking up. They have reversed the governor's plans to eliminate weekend commuter services, but now that's back on. That's what this article is about. An abrupt shift that followed an outcry from writers and political leaders. Our administration exploring alternatives to last week's MBTA budget proposal to make weekend commuter rail more efficient and will not pursue proposals to eliminate weekend service, Baker said. Baker announcement came as the MBT also prepared to soften its stance on a proposal to reduce trips for as many as 10,000 riders who use to ride a door-to-door service for passengers with disabilities. On Monday, officials presented several potential alternatives to eliminating the service, including cutting back its hours now, 5 a.m. to 11 a.m. Okay, the developments came 1 week after transit officials announced the proposed cut, which would have made the MBTA the nation's only major commuter rail system to completely shut down on the weekends. At the time, Boston is experiencing a building boom. So I congratulate all you who spoke out on that and stayed vigilant, stood your ground, and resulting in the governor canceling his plans to eliminate all weekend commuter service. Okay, there's a lot of talk about this workforce shortage hits human service shelters. This is big news in the human service sector and MOSAIC. Okay, workforce shortage hits human service sector. If time permits, we got a video on this too. We're going to share this, but let me read you, give you some insight on what this is all about. Workforce shortage hits human service sector. Already struggling to attract enough workers, the human service sector in Massachusetts will need to fill up 25,000 positions in the coming decade to meet a growing demand for services, according to a recent Providers Council report. And I think we have some information on that report right here. And I'm going to try to get this on to you so you can understand that how this shortage will be, and how devastating it will be in the state of Massachusetts. Okay, hold on now.
The human service workforce in Massachusetts has been growing dramatically by 67% over the last 11 years, but with demand still rising, there is a new warning of a possible crisis with many current workers either changing jobs or retiring. That's from a report commissioned by the Providers Council. To explain is our guest from the council, the president and CEO, Michael Weeks. Thank you very much for being with us, Michael.
Well, thank you, Chris, for inviting me.
To explain this about how it really matters here, who who are the people served by these workers?
Sure. Well, we have a statewide membership of community-based organizations, primarily nonprofit. They're serving individuals with intellectual and physical disabilities, people with behavioral health, mental health challenges, homeless individuals, our veterans, our elderly, children and women at risk, a wide range of individuals throughout the Commonwealth, including those who are struggling with the opioid crisis here, are part of our workforce amongst many, a part of the problems that we're working on among many others.
I imagine one reason you need more human service workers as opposed to fewer is that a lot of us are getting older and, well, could be nursing homes or rehab that we have to look forward to.
Well, you hit on one of the key factors that are that's concerning us here in Massachusetts. We have what we think are the elements for perhaps a perfect storm. It's predicted in the next several years, at least 34% of the state's workforce is going to be less than what they are now. In fact, there's going to be somewhere in the range of 36,000 workers. At the same time, our population is getting older. And about a third of the state's population is going to be age 55 and older. And at the same time, we're going to have a decrease in the number of workers that are going to be here in Massachusetts as eligible. So we're going to have a demand, but we're not going to have enough workers to meet that demand.
What about the people who are in this workforce now? How would you describe the composition of this workforce?
Well, it's an interesting workforce. There's always people in our workforce who really care, and that, I think, what attracts them to this sector is they care about individuals. They want to make meaningful changes in their lives, and they do that by being involved in this workforce. We're primarily about 80% female. And interestingly enough, Chris, we did an informal poll survey somewhere around a few weeks ago. We found out that about 25% of our workforce currently are foreign-born.
This is BNN News, and we're talking with Michael Weeks from the Providers Council. You know, it doesn't hurt to have foreign-born workers, as you know, serving a population that's getting more diverse. But you sound concerned about the foreign part because what we could have.
Okay, we're going to try to get back to Mr. Michael Weeks of the Providers Council. And on the subject of workforce shortage hits the human service sector. But I'd like to remind you of this event that's coming up. The New England Organization for Human Services will be holding their 2017 conference at Pittsburgh State University on April 28th. The theme of the conference this year is Human Service Professionals Looking Towards the Future. Registration is now open. Come at online at https://neofhs at wildapricot.org. Attach your file. Okay, so that's okay. So if you like additional information on that, that's the New England Organization of Human Services 2017 conference with the theme entitled Human Service Professionals Looking Towards the Future. And that will be at, once again, Pittsburgh State University. And, okay, I guess they'll let, you can get the T train, okay? It's going north on the T train. Anyway, the New England Organization for Human Services, in collaboration with the Pittsburgh State University, will hold their annual April 28, 2017 Human Service Professionals Looking Towards the Future at the Hammond Building, Pittsburgh State University, 160 Pearl Street, Pittsburgh, Massachusetts. So you'll be hearing a little bit more about that before the April 28th date. I'm trying to get some information where you can inquire about registration or additional information, okay? Okay, you can go to, once again, neofhs.wildapricot.org, or you can access the national website, the Organization for Human Services, and their website is as follows: www.nationalhumanservices.org. Okay, so that's neofhs.wildapricot.org for additional information about the 2017 annual New England Organization for Human Services Conference in collaboration with Fishburne State University. Okay, now if you are experiencing any type of rental problems, evictions, lack of rent, etc., that relates to low-income renters, you can contact the Alliance of Cambridge Tenants at 259 Harvard Street. Okay, their website is www.actcambridge.org, or you can email them at tenant@earthlink.net. That's the Alliance of Cambridge Tenants, and they're right there to support you in any type of housing issues that you have. So you get on over and check out the Alliance of Cambridge Tenant if you're experiencing things like evictions, any problems with your landlord, etc., etc. That's 259 Harvard Street, Cambridge, Massachusetts, right at the corner of Prospect. And their email, once again, is tenant@earthlink.net. And their website, www.cambridge.org. And with that, I want to tell you that's just about it. Our time is just about up here for this episode, but stay tuned. We have much more in the future stored for you. I want to read the list of the programs that will be taking a hit from the president's budget, but this week we don't have enough time to share it with you. But until next time, keep your nose clean, play it straight, and don't forget to assist someone in need of your help.
New restrictions on new people coming in the country, maybe.
Exactly.